Hi, my name is Mike Vitale. For this video today, I'm going to be demonstrating how to clean surgical instruments. So we've got a few components here that we're going to be doing. For the initial video, I'm just going to be doing the kind of scrubbing of the instruments with the soft bristle brush, and kind of showing at least the kind of soaking process and explaining the soaking process. And then I'll do another video after the instruments are dry that I will use our ultrasonic cleaning instrument as well, just to demonstrate how to use that as well. So for the video here, I'm going to kind of move this down here. So I have our little cleaning basin here that is filled with about a gallon of distilled water. And I have our solution over here for the actual instrument cleaning. So this cleaner here, it's a detergent agent, it's a lubricating agent, and it's we can use it for a soaking agent as well for our instruments. So it's kind of an all-in-one thing here. So I've got like a little measuring cup here that's measured out to an ounce because the mixture per the manufacturer recommendations is a gallon of distilled water to 1 ounce of this solution here, which measures out to about 1 full pump of that. And so then I'm going to mix that into the solution. I'm just going to kind of mix that around just a little bit, just to kind of get a little agitated in there, get it nice and mixed up. Okay. And so for the video, since I'm supposed to do 3 instruments here, I've got a needle holders here, hinge towel clamp there, and then a pair of surgical scissors. So all of those are going to go into the bath like so. So they're all sitting in there, and for the sake of the video, I'm not going to sit there and sit here and let them soak. But typically, I would allow them to soak for at least 5 minutes, if not more than that. I can go up to about an hour before it's going to get a little bit too much soaking there. So we'll say for the purposes of the video, I've already let them soak for at least 5 minutes, and so now I'm ready to actually do the scrubbing portion of it to remove any debris like blood, hair, skin, that kind of stuff, so that stuff isn't adhering to the blade or any of the instruments before they go over to dry. And I do want to do this kind of soaking process here as soon as possible after the procedure, just to make sure that there are to make sure that anything that's on the instruments isn't going to get dried on even further. So we have our kind of soft bristle brush here that we're going to use for the cleaning purposes. So I'm going to pull this out of the water here, and I'm basically just going to dip my brush here in the soaking solution, and then I'm just going to kind of gently scrub all of the surfaces of the instrument here. I'm getting all up on the, for this is the towel clamps here, so I'm getting on the actual pointed section of the instrument here. I'm getting up into the lock box here as much as I can, just to help make sure that get any debris out of there. Kind of getting into these hinges here. And then I'm also going to kind of lightly scrub the shank here, as well as the actual rings themselves, just to make sure that we're getting all of the areas. Okay, so I've got all the areas clean. So then I've got just a big syringe here full of distilled water, just for the kind of rinsing purposes. So I'm just going to kind of lightly go over all the surfaces there, and that's good. And then I'm going to leave this drying over here in the open position, so basically just like that, just to make sure that, because if I left it closed like that, then we can have a higher chance of more rust developing here in the actual lockbox portion of the instrument. So I'm going to leave it in a fully open position like that to allow it to dry as best as possible. And so next up we have our needle holders here. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Especially with things like the needle holders and the hemostats, with these kind of serrated jaws here, we want to make sure that we're getting all of those aspects there. Tend to get a lot of tissue buildup in there, so we want to make sure that those are nice and cleaned out. And with the bristle brush here, I'm not like jamming these bristles in here as hard as I possibly can. Even though this is just kind of a soft bristle brush, you know, I still want to make sure that I'm not doing any damage to the actual instrument itself. So I'm just using a light to moderate pressure, just to make sure I'm actually working the bristles into the areas that we need to. And then we'll rinse it the same way. Alright, and again we'll place that over here to dry. And then we have our tissue scissors last. Just our final rinsing there. Okay. So I can kind of bring us over here and show just kind of the instruments, how they're laid out here. I just have them on a one of our kind of extra huck towels here, just so that they're on a nice lint-free surface for them to dry. And all the hinged instruments you can see are open up nice and wide there to assist with the drying process. And then I am going to get one of our other huck towels. And now that one's fully placed over top like so, so that those are nice and covered up, so that those can dry well and not going to have any lint or anything, you know, falling on them while they're drying. And so then that is the pre-soaking and scrubbing of the instruments. I'll use the ultrasonic scaler in the next video.